For those of you wanting to get a head start on Cummins QSOL online, this is going to be a brief video that gives you some basics on how to navigate this website. First of all, when you go to the QuickServeCummins.com website that we have on your website access document, after you get to that, you'll have a login, customer login here. The username is my name, CASEYEGLINTON, all lowercase. And then our password is Cummins, all capital letters, CUMMINS. And then we can simply hit log in here. Once we have logged in, we're going to have a screen that looks like this. And they give us a spot here for our engine serial number. For the one test that we have, our engine serial number is 790-27199. And then we go ahead and we hit that arrow. Tells us our engine serial number has been updated and we're into where we can go to start looking for things in our service manuals. The tab that we're going to want to hit for service manuals is going to be the service tab here. We click service and then we go down to this screen here, and now we can see that, like we've had in the past, we've got some different kinds of categories of service manuals. And if you think about what we had back in Access Freightliner and Detroit and Mercedes, you see some similarities here. Troubleshooting and repair manuals. This is going to be where you find all of your fault code information and anything with the electronic control system, fuel system, and etc. So for that one, if we go ahead and we click on troubleshooting repair manuals, you see that over in the left hand side over here we have a menu. And in that left hand side they give us kind of an introduction about the manual, how to use the manual, some general safety instructions. And then down here we've got engine system and identification. This is important if you don't know what fuel system your engine has. For example, ours here designates that it is a CM870 electronic control system. We could find that out by going to our engine identification as well as our engine diagrams. Engine diagrams here and engine identification, they show the engine data plate and where that different information would be located. And it tells you here that the engine data plate is located on top of the rocker lever cover. We can also, if we're looking for sensors here, we can go to the engine diagrams. We know already that we have an automotive with 870 here, and they give us some different diagrams of the engine as to where those different sensors are located and different components are located on the engines. Down here we've got troubleshooting fault codes. Now this would be anytime you see the 3-digit code here at the end, which used to designate what the blink code was for it. This would be a blink code 111. Now what we've got here is we've got 122, 123, and the 70, I believe that indicates that that is part of the 870 fuel system here. And they go down through this, and all these different fault codes here are labeled out by numbers. So if I ask you a question about a different fault code and what's the first step in troubleshooting this, you can click on that one and then go over to the right hand side of your screen. If you go down here, it gives you a circuit description, component location, some shop talk, and there's a spot here that says refer to troubleshooting fault code. When you click on that, it takes you into the actual troubleshooting here, and it shows you in this case that step 1 is to check the EGR valve motor and circuit. Also in this manual, they're for troubleshooting symptoms. If you don't have a fault code, but if you have a problem, let's say fuel consumption excessive. We could go and we don't have a fault code, but we can go in and we can choose those symptoms. There's also troubleshooting with a new format, with a no communication troubleshooting tree. Section 19 is our electronic controls, and this takes you down through all the different circuits that we have. So if you're looking for a wiring diagram for like a fuel shutoff circuit or some information on what those different tests are that we would do, this would be where you would find that. if we head back then, let's say we want to get out of this and we want to go back to where we started, we can close this one, and we can close this one, and we get back to our main menu here. So that was troubleshooting and repair manuals. The wiring diagrams is just going to, it's going exactly what it says it is. It is a wiring diagram of that engine. These are difficult to read, I think. They've got kind of a zoom box here, and you can blow that up, but then you lose so much of the wiring diagram. Now, we can also here, after that, service manuals. Once again, this is where our hard parts are. This is where we look in here. We've got, this is going to be your specifications. It's going to be your procedures. It's going to be your tolerances. You know, for example, if I ask you a question, and I know I will, of what do we set the intake and exhaust valves to on this particular truck? Well, I can go in here and let's see. I'm going to say that that's probably going to be under rocker levers because that's where we would adjust that. And we go to the overhead set here, and on the overhead set we can either go to adjust and it'll jump us down in this screen over here, or we can simply scroll down to where we want it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click adjust here, and there is our different measurements for that particular one. So this is going to be very similar to what we talked about in Access Freightliner. Now if we go back out of this one, we've also got master repair manuals are product specific on that. You can see that this would be like a manual on how to work with that whole set air compressor on there. Our owner's manual and our operation and maintenance manuals. Once again, very similar to what we had. This is where we're going to find capacities. This is where we're going to find what our service intervals should be. The operation and maintenance manuals, owner's manuals, this is always going to give us some information for the owner and the operator as to how to operate the machine. The one that comes to mind a lot of times is like cold weather starting techniques for an engine. But this is going to be information you think about. The owner's manual would be something like you'd find in your glove box of your car. The operation and maintenance manuals are going to be a little bit more in depth than that owner's manual. So if we go out to our owner's manual here and we click on that, we can go over here and they give us like, here's our maintenance guidelines. And we can see our maintenance guidelines. We hit the overview in here, and it's just a real brief information about that particular engine. Our operating instructions, here we've got the normal starting procedure, we've got the cold weather starting, operating characteristics of an engine with EGR. These are all different things that we've got that would be specific to for the owner, what he would need to know on that piece of equipment. We can close back out of that, and then the final thing we've got here would be our operation and maintenance manual. And ours is a signature in ISX. The QSX is the industrial version of this engine. In this ISX operation here, we've got some operation instructions, our maintenance guidelines. It shows us what our maintenance procedures should be at different mileages on this engine. We're measuring this one in mileage because it is an automotive application. Talks about engine storage here, some maintenance specifications. This would be all those different things. So that is just your brief summary of what we've got with Cummins QuickServe Online. I hope this helps. There will be some open lab opportunities where I'll be there to help you, but let's try this and see how it works. Thank you very much and have a great day.